Welcome into a For What It's Worth episode 18. I am with Tyrone, Thornton, and Erik Kellgren. Guys, how are you doing? It's good to have you guys back.
I'm feeling good, man. Feeling in the Christmas spirit. I got the tree right there. Hopefully, Santa comes over here in a month or two and gives me some really nice gifts. I would love maybe just a PS5 just to have one, or a MacBook, or an iPad.
Or a Broncos playoff win.
I see that's not even up to Santa anymore. That's already wrapped and given to me. It's already
That's already under the tree, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know if, I wouldn't go that far as in a playoff win, but maybe a playoff spot. Erik, how about you? How are you doing, man?
I'm pretty good betting weekend. That's pretty much determines my mood most of the time, so that's fine. That makes it good.
What was the biggest hit of the weekend?
Just overall, I just hit.
Okay, just overall,
I
a
was
great
just
day.
like over 65% on like my bets this weekend, pretty much.
Okay, all right, not bad at all. I am excited that Missouri has passed, sports betting now and legalized it. So
No, it's about to get dangerous.
It's about to get dangerous. I'm ready to really hop back into the game and see what I can do. I don't know if my bank account's quite ready, but I am. And then hopefully, once that gets going, maybe we can get some episodes out where we give some betting lines or just some pick'ems and stuff like that. So work in progress, but hopefully that's what we can evolve to here. But we are going to talk about Week 11, specifically two games in particular that will kind of branch out into little debates here and there. But I want to start with the Thursday night game, the Commanders and Eagles, because it really rolls out the question now if are the Eagles the best team in the NFC? Now, that's the overall arching question that we will get to in a second. I don't necessarily want to start there. I just kind of want to go over some key facts here first. The Commanders were coming off a short week, so they lost to the Eagles 26-18 on Thursday Night Football. The Eagles, too, they missed 2 field goals in that first half. So technically, they could have won this game by more. I think when you look at the score, you're like, oh, that was a pretty close game. It could have been a lot worse. And we got to remember, too, that Jaden Daniels is still dealing with a rib injury. So I guess my first question for you guys, or my first little debate here is the injury to Jaden Daniels making it difficult for Washington to compete, or is there other deep-lying issues, or are they all right?
I think that the injury it definitely is concerning, and that is the problem. But I think the bigger problem is I think the NFL is starting to be like, all right, we are figuring this guy out. Jane Daniels, he's going crazy. He's going crazy. Lit the league on fire, going crazy. Now they have film on him. They're like, oh, he does this, and this. And now it's just a little bit easier to play him now. It's not a random can in the bottle. You don't know what you're going to get. You know exactly. We know to a certain degree what we're getting when he's on the field. And NFL defenses they're locking into that tape.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of truth to that in the sense that I think any rookie quarterback feels a slump or either starts off really good and then kind of slumps off. Ty, we were talking, and Erik, we were talking before about Bo Nix, and he kind of was, up and down in the beginning of the season, and now he's really hitting a stride. Where I think Daniels was the opposite, where he started off really hot, and now he's hitting his slump. Erik, do you think there's an underlying issue to this Commanders team? Is it because Daniels is hurt that they're on this little slump, or are they just fine?
I definitely don't think it helps if your quarterback isn't 100%. For sure, especially like as a rookie, like what was it? A couple seasons ago, Mahomes like had that injury in the playoffs, and he was playing through it that most of the most of the playoffs. I don't know if that's one of the years that we won the Super Bowl or not, but like he's kind of had it figured out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't think it's great to have your star quarterback injured, especially when the Commanders' defense is pretty bad. So you don't really have anything to fall back on necessarily.
Yep.
So that's what
I was going to say their running game and I guess their backfield in general showed potential to be something that they can rely on. But yeah, I agree. When your star quarterback is hurt, rookie or not, that never helps. And his last primetime game, I get it was against the, I believe, Giants, but he's 21 of 23, 254 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he shows what he can do at a prime time situation. So I don't think it was the lights were too big necessarily. I guess stakes were higher, divisional opponent, the Eagles, I get all that. But what I'm getting is he's played primetime before. So I just think you're coming off a short week. Eagles are just really hot right now. You also, the Commanders don't have their leading tackler, and Daniels is dealing with a rib injury. So I don't think there's anything too worrisome yet for the Commanders. I just think this was something they were going to experience with the rookie quarterback.
Oh, 1,000%. And regardless of how the season ends, they've already exceeded the expectations that they had for the season. They've already seen the flashes from Daniels. He's good, regardless of how this end of this year finishes out, unless he just completely goes down. Like, I'm talking about Daniel Jones, Will Levis. As long as he's just playing standard football and they win a couple more games, playoffs or not, he's good.
Yeah, I think you're right there in the fact that exceeding expectations that they had preseason is going to help them a long ways. Now we got to talk about some key performances in this game, and one of them is Barkley, 26 carries, 146 yards, 2 touchdowns, 5.6 yards per carry. We'll get into this in a second, but also it was honestly the game of running backs. Because then you had Brian Robinson Jr., 16 carries, 63 yards, and a touchdown for the Commanders. Austin Eckler, he had 8 receptions, 89 yards. He led in receiving, so he was huge in the passing game. And then if we're looking defensively, I know I probably could pick someone from the Eagles, but Jeremy Chin from the Commanders has impressed me these last 3 weeks. 3rd straight game with 13 tackles combined.
Wow.
So I know that the Commanders defense didn't get it done, but I had to shout him out. But let's talk about
for the Eagles, Quinyon Mitchell.
There you go.
Terry McLaurin.
I was going to say he was not a factor. We'll get into that in a second. But here's my question in this regard. Is Barkley proving to be the most important weapon in the Eagles offense? Yes or no?
Oh,
1,000%. Yes. 1,000%.
So,
I love Devontae Smith. I think he's one of the most underrated receivers in the league. AJ Brown as well too. But I think with Hurts back there, I don't know how much you really want him throwing the ball. Do you want him throwing the ball 35 times a game?
No, you don't. You don't.
You just don't, regardless of who your receivers are. Let's just give it to Saquon and watch him go crazier. Let's just check it down to Saquon or give him a screen pass. He'll go crazy. That's always the outcome when you give him a ball. He might jump up and do a 360 and come back. He's the definition of too much right now.
360 backflip, lands it, all that. Yeah, stiff arm, all that. I agree, Eric. I heard you say yes too. I'll let you give your 2 cents here in a second. But I just think when he's running like he is, they're so balanced. You can't just let Hurts throw because he can be efficient. He's not a prolific thrower by any means, but he's efficient when he has time and the defenses aren't just full on in passing defense mode. So he's efficient there. Barkley, if he's giving you 5.6 yards a carry, you're never behind the sticks. Like you were mentioning, you have great receivers around you. They're just really balanced. And it all stems from Barkley and the Eagles being able to run the ball. Erik, do you want to add anything to this discussion about Barkley being the most important weapon in the Eagles offense?
I was just talking to this last night with Declan that what were we talking about? Anyways, how like Saquon, you still knew he was good on the Giants, but it's just like he can't do like everything. But now that he's in a way better offense, where it's like you can kind of give some relief to the Saquon by AJ Brown, Devontae, even Jalen Hurts rushing. That's a huge factor in the game as well. So when you have all of that to lean on to or whatever.
Yep.
Saquon's literally just dominant.
Yep. Just a dominant back. And Kellen Moore, what an offensive coordinator. I'm not sure if the Cowboys ever should have given him up, and McCarthy lying about how he was going to take over play calling and be better and this and that. Yeah. That's sad. But yeah, Eagles offense, it's not the scariest offense in the league, but if Barkley's going to average 5.6 yards per carry,
It don't matter.
that's tough for any
I
defense
can be
to
the
stop.
quarterback, and we would be fine if he's getting 5 yards per carry. Bet, cool. Let's give it to
Yep.
Saquon first and second down.
Exactly. Well,
After
and
that,
by
we'll
those regards,
figure it
if it's 5.6 yards a carry, there's a first down and two carries every time. Obviously, that's not how it would work, but in theory, that's how it would work. In theory, Zach Ertz also had a big game in a year where tight ends aren't really making all that much noise as I feel like they have in the past. Brock Bowers is still making some noise out there, but
besides Brock Bowers,
yeah. But Zach Ertz, 6 receptions, 47 yards, and a touchdown. That was cool to see. And so now Eagles on a 6-game win streak lead the NFC East. Commanders, they have lost 2 in a row. Their road record is 3-3. Their home record is 4-1. So they're really good at home. Not too hot on the road. Eagles and Lions have the best records in the NFL, which brings us all the way back to the overarching question I had when we started this is, does this win solidify the Eagles as the best team in the NFC?
No.
Yes or no? Okay, we got one no from Erik. Ty, does this win solidify the Eagles as the best team in the NFC?
Definitely not. There's a point of time this season where people were seriously considering, like, is the Eagles, is Sirianni going to get fired? I know that they're winning games now, but I really remember when people thought the Eagles sucked, and that was this season. Nobody has ever thought that once about the Lions a singular time at any point during the season. They've been cooking from start to finish.
Yep. I feel like they're just, like you were just getting at, they're the most balanced. I get it. We were just talking about Barkley, but the Lions running back room is
nasty.
It's nasty. Is equally as good, if not better. You have the better quarterback. I trust Jared Goff. I get it.
A touchdown 7 games in a row. That's ridiculous. And they're running back everybody on their team. I would love to be on the Lions. You're getting a free touchdown. Even if you're a backup, like I might get a touch this game. Who knows? Literally, free touchdown.
Defense, really good. Receivers, really good. Jared Goff, I get it. 5 interceptions. They still won. And I still trust him more as a passer than I do Jalen Hurts.
NCAA method. Let's just play.
Erik, I heard you agree with us all. Why do you believe, or I guess who do you believe is the best team in the NFC? You never really said who you believe is the best team in the NFC.
Oh, the Lions, 100%. I would go as far as saying the Lions are the best team in the NFL right now. I don't think that's. I mean, I don't think. I think a lot of people would agree with me. They have the best record.
They're waxing teams they're waxing teams how college teams beat other bad college teams. They're doing that to professional teams.
Yeah.
52-6 and stuff, like you're beating them badly. Like,
and I get it. I get it in the sense that, like, okay, so, one of those teams was against the Cowboys that they absolutely dominated in, and that's fine. But it just proves that they are beating the teams that they need to really bad. I mean, the Texans even were struggling with the Cowboys tonight for a little bit there. I believe we're recording this as it's going on right now. I believe they're finally starting to pull away a little bit, but they struggled that first half. Lions has put them away. So I think that just proves that whether or not the teams are bad, that they're embarrassing like you're saying they are, they're still embarrassing them and they're still professionals. I have to agree with you guys if I already haven't made that clear that the Lions are the best team in the NFC. I would go as far to say I think Dan Campbell learned a lot too from last year in that playoff experience, and I think I might trust him more than I do Sirianni in a clutch situation.
Oh, and I think that Dan Campbell, like, he's learning from his mistakes, but he still has the fortitude, the testitude to go, like, hey, let's go for it on 4th and 4. It's 4th. I'll fake a punt. He'll do all of the crazy stuff still too.
On his own.
Oh yeah, no, he will.
Like, if
he's just smarter about it.
Yeah, if you know a crazy person, they don't stop being crazy. They just decide not to be crazy in that moment, and they can just bring that craziness out whenever they need to.
And who's to say that the Eagles still won't employ like they did last year? There's still a few weeks left for that to happen.
When your head coach is Nick Sirianni, you can do anything.
Yep, exactly. And then it's going to be a lot of just division. Yeah, it can get really ugly really quick if you're not careful. Some other things I just want to point out before we move on to the Chiefs game, and then I'll let you guys say anything that you guys want to. As mentioned earlier, Eagles even could have had a bigger lead on this one. Missed 2 field goals. And I think adding Brian Robinson Jr., helps the Commanders' offensive versatility, and it keeps linebackers honest too moving forward. Like I said, Eckler was amazing in the pass game for him as a running back. Robinson was great in the running game for them as a running back. Those two are just very balanced, and they're going to have a very balanced backfield moving forward. So that's something to just look forward to moving on with the Commanders. Anything else you guys want to talk about, debate, anything about Barkley, Henry? Who would you rather have? Anything you guys want to?
I would say I have two things to say. One,
Okay,
that Saquon is locked up the second best running back spot in the game. I think I said this in the group chat earlier. CMC, he has to go prove it. He has to go prove to me that he's still the same after having 2 surgeries on both of his, what was it, his Achilles or was it his Achilles, I think? What was it? 2 Achilles.
Achilles.
I'm not going to say you're washed after that, but it ain't. I've never seen 2 Achilles surgeries and you come back going crazy. So whoever wants to be that third best running back in the NFL, it's up to you, because the first 2, they're locked down. Derrick Henry and Saquon, if they get 20 carries, that's 100 yards in a tud guaranteed.
Derrick Henry's barely leading in my rankings right now. Erik, anything you want to add on that topic?
I saw this tweet and it was like, this kind of has to do with Derrick Henry, but it's also kind of funny. It was saying that I've been seeing stuff that, like the Chiefs, like the black magic, stuff like that. I've been seeing stuff that people are saying the Steelers are the same way, because Derrick Henry fumbled for the first time in I think it was 2 years or something like that, and Justin Tucker missed 2 or 3 field goals.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, with Derrick Henry not fumbling, but he scored every single game this year so far. I think
that's automatic.
One or two excluded, right? But I gotta go with Derrick Henry. I think. Saquon's definitely more elusive, so it's some of the stuff he does is a little more fun to watch. But just for the main focus of being a good running back at its core, I think Derrick Henry he's way more reliable. I think.
He's over reliable.
He's technically older, but you know what I mean.
As Tyrone was saying, all reliable right there.
It's a pickup truck. Just get in. Come on, let's go.
Let's go.
I might get in the old pickup truck and go to California. It'll make it there.
It'll make it there.
Really get there.
You can trust him. All right, let's move on to the Chiefs losing to the Bills, suffering their first loss of the season, 30-21. Josh Allen gets it done once again in the regular season. That's right, the regular season against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Just some stuff I want to point out, like I did the last game before we start getting into the debates. I really thought that obviously the Chiefs the start was horrendous and totally flipped the game right out the gates. That interception as he was getting hit, fluttered it over Travis Kelce's head. Kelce was right there. It was going to be a big play. Then their second drive, 3 and out, total of under 3 minutes. Their opening drives, just terrible. And they're known for being, leading on third down conversions and holding the ball for a while this season. So just totally out of rhythm, totally got off to a horrendous start. Their first third down conversion didn't come until the third drive. Another couple things I want to point out before we move on. Bills, aggressive offensively. That's what you got to do. They were pushing the ball down the field rather than playing it short. And Josh Allen was throwing some beautiful footballs yesterday. It was something to see, really impressive, especially the Cooper on the sideline a couple times. And last thing I want to mention, this was the first time, guys, in 30 NFL games, that the Chiefs defense has allowed 28-plus points. The last time that this happened was against the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Now, here's my problem, and here's why I bring that up, because I hate to say this because I'm praising Mahomes till no end on earth. You guys know me. What scares me is it's the one time this season that the defense doesn't do it, they lose. The one time. Now, I get it. The Bills went for it on the fourth down. Allen scored. That was the right thing to do. You don't give it to Mahomes with a chance to, game-winning, game-tying, all that. You don't give him the chance. But the one time the defense doesn't do their job technically, and the fact of holding a team under 28 or whatever points, and your offense doesn't win that one game, I don't know. That's kind of troublesome for me, just a little bit. I still trust the Chiefs to get it done in the playoffs, but that's just a tad worrisome to me. Does that worry you guys at all?
Oh, 1,000%. The old saying is, or this is the idea that, a great offense is always going to beat a great defense. Always. And when you don't know if you necessarily have the great offense, the best offense on the field, you'll be in situations like that, regardless of how good your defense is or how great it is. If it comes up against an unstoppable force, which is Josh Allen in this case, they're going to prevail. They're going to prevail. And the Bills put themselves in the exact situation going for it on that fourth down. Like, all right, let's put our offense, who I think is really, really good, against this defense, who is also really, really good, opposed to letting Patrick Mahomes play that game.
Yeah, I think you had to do it. You're at home. You know what Mahomes could do, especially you've seen it a little bit this season. You obviously have seen it in the past with the 13 seconds. Allen was feeling himself. Like you said, the offense was moving. Definitely the right call. Erik, what do you take out of this in the defense?
I mean, obviously it's not. Obviously, if that's the first game they let up 28, that's probably, not great. But maybe that shows us how good the Bills' offense is. Maybe even they didn't have Keon Coleman and
that's right.
Gabe.
That's right.
But I think the main concern is like, if the defense isn't going to play good, then the Chiefs maybe aren't that good because offensively they are not good. Mahomes threw 2 picks, and then the defense is like, that was the first game we let up 28. That's why we lost. But Mahomes threw 2 picks. So.
And then I guess the next question is, because like I mentioned earlier, the Chiefs are known for long drives or at least keeping their defense off the field. And like I said, to start off, the defense was in a situation they haven't been in really all season. And so I think that might have played a factor too, that they were just kind of thrown off. But I don't want to overreact to just one game.
Oh, no. I mean, that's the Bills are probably, saying they are the second best team in the AFC for sure.
Yep.
That's not like, losing's not good, but when you have 0, that's a good game to lose. Like that's not a bad, like I've been seeing stuff on Twitter where like the Panthers are going to like ruin the Chiefs' perfect season, like as a joke.
Yep.
But if not as a joke, if they would have lost to the Panthers, that would have been a bad loss. That would have been
a really bad loss.
But losing to the Bills isn't like that's fine, and especially like historically, Josh Allen beats Mahomes in the regular season, right? So it's like
4-1.
Yeah, so I don't think there's too much to worry about, especially Pacheco's coming back.
Yep,
should be fine. Kareem Hunt and Pacheco, that might be dangerous.
That is. Kareem Hunt is efficient. Tyrone, looks like you got something to say here about this.
I mean, you guys are not wrong by saying this isn't a bad loss, but it's how you lost. The game started with the Patrick Mahomes interception and ended with the Patrick Mahomes interception. That's something that we're not used to. He started the game with a pick, ended the game with an interception. And I think that honestly, the team, the Chiefs itself, the team is built for Patrick Mahomes playing, or the offense is. The defense is his own thing. The team is built on Patrick Mahomes playing at a certain level offensively. And he's not playing at that level. And I think that, having a Pacheco back, this definitely will help the offense, but I don't know if that will help Patrick Mahomes stop turning the ball over. Because at this point of the season, I would say he's having somewhat of a turnover problem. Yeah. I think he's having a turnover problem.
Yeah.
And I don't think that he just has to take care of the ball. That's it. He has to take care of the ball better and play better, plain and simple. Like, for him being this great of a quarterback, him to be praised the level that he is, and he deserves it, he has to play to his standard. And I think the Chiefs will always be a little bit at jeopardy as long as he's not playing to a standard. I think it would be better for the Chiefs. I would feel more confident as a Chiefs fan if the Chiefs were losing 42-45 shootouts. We lost a shootout. Patrick Mahomes was balling out of his mind. Everybody else needs to step up. I'd feel way better. But it's like, all right, Patrick Mahomes isn't performing to the level that he should be, and we're losing. That's concerning. My best player ain't playing his best. How could you be the best version of your team if your best player isn't playing the best?
Yep. And I think, too, we got a point a little bit towards that line because it just seems like it's getting worse every week.
Yeah.
Every week it just seems like that left side's getting worse, and whether it was letting the line get to Mahomes or it was in the form of penalties. There's a couple crucial penalties that they had that just really killed the offensive mojo and rhythm. So I think there's something we got to look forward there too. So it's just not a good sign. I think the offensive line's getting worse every week. As you mentioned, he's 15 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, not playing anything spectacular. He's not in shootouts and helping your team in that regard. He was doing good, and they were doing efficiently and keeping drives alive and converting on third down, sometimes resulting more in field goals than touchdowns, but they were, as mentioned, winning, at least undefeated. So again, I don't want to overreact here from one game, but I see what you're talking about, and Mahomes is definitely not playing to a Mahomes-esque level. And another thing, too, is Worthy was really efficient and really getting involved early on, and then he just disappeared. Hopkins was silent. Travis Kelce was silent. So that the Bills defense locked him down. Offense couldn't get anything going. It was Noah Gray that was, really doing anything in the passing game. And then, too, can Mahomes and Worthy figure out the sideline thing? Can they get that figured out, please?
He's just a rookie.
That's 2 weeks in a row now. He's wide open.
He's just a rookie. That's what rookies do. That's what they do. He's just a rookie.
Two big opportunities 2 weeks in a row. I don't know if it's really Mahomes' fault or it's his fault not being able to drag the feet, or it's 50-50. It's just they got to get it.
I think the one on the left side of the field, Worthy should have been able to drag his feet, but the one I'm talking about solely in the Bills game. The one where he was like in the end zone, that was a terrible throw. That was so far out of bounds.
Pat didn't get him on that one.
But the one on the left side, he definitely could have got his feet, but it probably could have been somewhat of a better throw, but he still should have been able to get 2 feet down.
So just in that regard, I get it. He's a rookie. They got to get that chemistry down and whatnot. But some missed opportunities there. So again, I don't think we need to overreact. But we're talking too much about Mahomes, not talking about the winning quarterback enough. And that was Josh Allen. And man, is that just a total 360 this year. I get it. He had an interception in this game that led to some points. But what I'm getting at here is overall in the season, he's turned down his turnovers. He's efficient in passing. He's efficient in running. If you don't have a spy on him, he's going to make you pay for that. Khalil Shakir, 8 receptions, 70 yards. He had a good game. Allen is something to be reckoned with, and I think that's someone you don't want to run into again later down the line. I know Mahomes has the better record against him, but if Josh Allen's going to play like that, and like we were talking earlier, the way he was hitting Cooper on the sidelines, converting on third downs, that fourth down run that gave him ultimately the win, just other throws throughout the game, the ability to use his feet and take off, he is overall just super efficient. And this isn't anything new to us, but the fact that now he's not committing turnovers with that, he is really, really dangerous.
Oh, 1,000%. I'm going to talk about Josh Allen a little bit. I had a Josh Allen MVP bet before. See, this is my preseason MVP pick. Actually, I cashed it out already. I'm kind of upset I already did, but I cashed it out for a really stupid reason. I wanted to make a parlay, and I was like, dang, I really need this extra $30 just to make another parlay. Took it out, lost the parlay. That's the side point though. Don't follow my betting advice. Just terrible decision.
What'd you put on it to start the season? $20?
I put $12 on it, and it was for 160. So I would have took that easily.
He's now the favorite.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. But I think that we're seeing there's 3 quarterbacks right now that could look Patrick Mahomes in the eye face to face and they play him and 1,000% believe that they can beat him. That's Josh Allen, Lamar, Joe Burrow. All 3 of those guys, I feel like in their heart of hearts that they genuinely think that. Like they're not even on no like fake hype stuff. And I think that right now the gap between, I'm not going to say Patrick Mahomes and the other quarterbacks is getting closed, but just they're performing at even Joe Burrow, whose team sucks. He's performing at a crazy level. Lamar is playing better than he's played. Josh Allen is doing what he's doing. It's getting really, really, really close, and I'm happy for Josh Allen. I used to not like him, but this is a really good moment for him, and I think that run last night, if they can stay the 2 seed, that probably locked up his MVP in my eyes.
Yeah, and especially too proving that even with Diggs leaving, he's still putting up really big numbers too. Erik, anything you want to say about Josh Allen or just the Bills overall?
Man, that's my QB. He's on my fantasy. He's carrying my fantasy team right now. My dad's from Buffalo, so I somewhat have like a Bills fandom a little bit.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean they look elite. They don't have like a star. I mean the Chiefs technically don't either. Like have a star wide receiver or whatnot. They didn't have Coleman Kincaid. He still did his thing. So I think they are definitely. It's probably them or the Steelers. That question that you keep asking us in the group chat, Calvin, like who is the Chiefs?
Yep.
Like who's the Chiefs?
Not the Steelers.
Fearless. It's Chiefs or the Steelers, I think.
You know why?
The Bills or the Steelers. Sorry.
What's the stats you guys like Chiefs fans?
Hold on.
A team has to score 28 points.
Yeah,
in order to beat the
we'll get there. Hold
the
on.
Steelers ain't scored up 28 points. They even scored a touchdown. I get no playing defense, but they ain't scored a touchdown.
To the win have been no touchdown.
On the playoffs.
We'll get there in a second.
No,
We'll get there in a second. One other thing I wanted to say is that the Chiefs, because I think this is important to mention, the Chiefs couldn't get sacks on Josh Allen. Sure, they could maybe get some pressure here and there, but they couldn't get sacks, and that was exposing their secondary. And I know Brian, a colleague on this podcast who we're missing dearly, and he needs to get back on here, has mentioned that they should have went and tried to get another cornerback to help that secondary. And so I think that just got exposed more, that there is a little problem there when the Chiefs can't get their sacks or get their blitz to be effective. Now let's hop into the discussion. Bills 9-2, despite missing some key players like we mentioned, Coleman, Kincaid. Chiefs 9-1, Steelers 8-2. We were just talking about the Bills. Some will say the Ravens. So the question is, who is the biggest threat in the AFC to the Chiefs? It sounds like Erik might be going the dark horse here and saying the Steelers. Tyrone was saying no before I interrupted him and saying that they're not going to score a lot. And here's what I would say to you to rebuttal that, Tyrone, is that the Chiefs are going to play down to whoever they play. So yeah, it might come down to a Chiefs winning 10-7, or it might be the Steelers winning 10-7 because the Chiefs are just going to play down to that level. We're just talking about how Mahomes hasn't been that effective. Now it would be the playoffs, but
all right, let's paint the scene. Everybody think about it. Really think about it. It's in January. January. It's cold outside. 15 degrees, maybe 20 degrees.
The defense is also really good.
In Arrowhead. There's 2 minutes left in the game. The Chiefs are up by 6 points. Russell Wilson needs to march down the field and get a touchdown to win the game. Do you think he would do it? No. Nobody thinks he would do that.
I mean, I don't.
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields? No, that's the last thing you do. He slid. And he was short. Yeah,
I would never put in a player that's been on the bench the whole game in the most important moment. No, we're good, bro. Russ got it. Stay on the bench. You're good. We don't even need you to even consider.
Yeah. Okay, Ty. So who do you think is the biggest threat to the Chiefs in the AFC?
Right now it's the Bills, but I'm still putting the Ravens up there. Just my theory of can you beat the Chiefs or beat a team that's really good is your quarterback on even the same level or like just tier as Patrick Mahomes? I know Russell Wilson's playing good. 4 games, 1 undefeated. He's just not. It's not the same. It is not the same. It's just not the same. And that is just something that's just really, really holding me back. The Steelers do have a great defense, and they have Najee and they have George Pickens. It's fun. They're a nice little regular season team. They're nice little regular season
Mike
team.
Williams too.
They have Mike Williams too. They're a nice little regular season team.
Hey, they got a better defense than the Ravens. Now they have a better quarterback.
They do. I think they have a tremendous coach, but I think so. That pick that Russell Wilson threw, that wasn't fake. If he does that in the playoffs, they'll lose the game. They will lose. They will lose. I've seen Russ lose games to the Broncos with my own eyes. I seen them lose to the Patriots on Christmas Day. It ruined my Christmas last year. Like, we're losing to the Patriots who suck. They literally suck. And we're losing them on Christmas because, Russ, you're not playing good. I will never believe in that guy again. I ain't gonna lie.
But the Ravens, they've lost to the Browns and Raiders this year.
That's okay.
2 losses you can't really
That is
have.
okay. You know why?
I never really like to talk about good or bad losses. I know we were just recently with the Bills and with the Chiefs losing to the Bills, but those are bad losses.
You know why I still believe in the team is because I know it's not Lamar's fault. It's not. I'm like, I can blame this on other people. So Lamar might just have to handle the adversity of his teammates not being able to catch the ball. His kicker, who's supposed to be a veteran kicker, missing kicks. His defense being buns. His defense literally being buns. Out of all of that, I'm like, well, they still got a chance with Lamar back there. I don't feel like the Steelers have a chance back with Russ back there. They're winning, and Russ is like an addition to what they're doing. And I think that I don't think all the other stuff they're doing is that good to where they can just lift for us to some wins in the playoff.
So so let me ask you this question then, because I think this might help us more. What if it's Ravens Steelers? Who's coming out of that in the playoffs?
I'm taking Lamar.
You're taking Lamar over the Steelers.
I think that Lamar can overcome all of the adversity of his bad teammates. His teammates that had open passes like this, and it hit him in the face.
Yep.
But
that's what I'm saying. What we saw that with Zay Flowers. He's not. He has been known to not be the most consistent. What if we start seeing that in the playoffs? What if players start dropping passes in the playoffs?
I think that they'll still be in a close game.
That's to rely on.
There will still be a shot. There will still be a shot.
They just got to be smart. They got to be smart with Henry. They have to be. They got to use Henry. They can't be afraid to run the ball.
I honestly think at this point they might have him on a secret snap count. I don't know why. If there's a playoff game, they need to give Derrick Henry the ball 32 times.
They might be saving it. I mean, like we say, he's a little older, and while reliable, he has been used a lot in the league, and so he might be on a little limit per se. Or a little, I don't want to, go baseball terms, but a little pitch count, kind of type of deal here. We got to keep them under so many runs a game. That I wouldn't rule that out, and you just don't want him to suffer any kind of injury because their success heavily, and I mean heavily. Yes, Lamar is everything about that, but they heavily rely on the success of the running game with Derrick Henry. Heavily rely on it, because as we mentioned, his receivers can sometimes not be the most reliable.
Easy elementary school, middle school, just recess, father, son, catch. Here, son, catch the ball. Hit it you in the face. What?
I really go back and forth on this one because I really don't know. I think it's like probably 5 or 6 times Ravens would win this matchup, 4 times Steelers would win this matchup. I think it's really close. But I do think that they're smart with Lamar and smart with Henry and how they balance that attack. And I think they learned from last year. And I think they would beat the Steelers. So I don't know if I could say that the Steelers are the biggest threat to the Chiefs, but this is a cop-out answer. But it's the Bills. The Bills are the biggest threat. They just proved it. They're the only ones that have been able to take him down. Josh Allen was unbelievable against a Chiefs defense. They're the first team to score over 28 points on the Chiefs. They have to be the biggest threat. No one else has done that this season. So I know that's kind of a cop-out answer, but those are the top 3 for sure. And maybe that's not groundbreaking.
I would say to be honest.
I really think it's true.
They basically beat them. Think about it.
No. In a playoff setting, I'm not going to trust a rookie quarterback to take down the Chiefs in a playoff setting. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm not doing it. A rookie is not taking down. A rookie's not taking down Mahomes.
I'm gonna be honest. Whatever team, the Broncos are going to be the 7th seed. Whatever team is the 2 seed, I don't know if you really want to play the Broncos.
All right, it might be the Bills.
That's right.
It could be the Bills.
Do you really want to play the Broncos? Is that who you really want to play?
I'm not saying I would want to. I'm just saying if I'm the Chiefs, I probably wouldn't want to play him. But if I'm the Chiefs, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, all right,
I
think about
necessarily
it
don't
like
want to play him, but I'll play him.
if you guys were the Broncos
A
and
rookie
you see
quarterback
that
coming in.
magically somehow you end up playing the Chiefs again in Arrowhead in the playoffs, would you not feel extremely, extremely confident? Bet, let's go. I can't wait.
Yeah, but they're going to have a rookie quarterback trying to handle that crowd. He hasn't been in a situation like that, and it's Mahomes in the playoffs.
He'll be all right.
Mahomes has proven that when it has to come through Arrowhead, it's not a problem. When he has to go on the road, it's not a problem. There's only been one time it's been a problem.
Yeah, the old Patrick
that was
Mahomes.
with. I mean, last year he wasn't very efficient either. That was more just receivers just playing dropping the ball more than anything. But and he got it done. But like I said, the offensive line is just not. It's not looking good week in, week out. And then we saw what happened. Now, I'm not saying it's on this level, but we saw what happened the last time Mahomes didn't have a great offensive line in a Super Bowl. So,
yes,
all right, guys, that's all I got on these two topics. I think we covered it all. Is there anything else you guys want to bring up about the NFC, AFC, or anything that we saw in Week 11?
I would like to say that I think that the NFL or all the teams that have 3 and 2 losses, I think that they're trying to get into a tank off, but none of them are about to actually tank because they ain't no good quarterbacks to really take like that. So I think that we're about to see some teams, 3 or 2 losses, get some dubs that they probably wouldn't be getting. So there's gonna 2 or 3 losses, or 2 or 3 wins. My bad.
Okay, that's what I thought.
That are they could probably maybe start tanking some, but they're like, who are we tanking for necessarily? There isn't that type of guy. So I think that in these next couple of weeks that like these teams like the Jags and like just even like the Cowboys like tonight, they're about to be like a little bit more competitive than you think. Also, Giants are confirmed to be the first pick overall in the draft now. They just
now that you brought that up, what I'm interested to see is if the Jags let Doug Peterson ride out the rest of the season or if that firing's coming soon.
At this point, let him just go. I mean, you're not going to do anything. You're going to hire.
But also, what's the point? What's the point? Like, if you're going to leave after the season, what's the point? Like, it's not like he can develop chemistry with,
Well, then take the whole offseason to just find a new coach instead of having an interim and then doing it that way.
Or why don't you just fire him now, get the interim in, see how the interim does. If he does well, then maybe you don't have to search too far. Or while your interims are going on, and then if he starts to maybe not do that well, then you could start the search early or even maybe get a head start on some potential candians and go from there.
Email Bill Belichick, email Nick Saban.
That's one.
Email Deion Sanders. Like, whoever.
I don't know if either of them would take Jacksonville. Maybe Deion just to get in the NFL. I don't know if Bill Belichick would do that. I don't know. Mike McCarthy might be out too soon with the Cowboys. They might let him go to the end of this. They might let him go to the end of the season, but that could. Now, I wouldn't want him, but there's someone that maybe the Jags could go after too. Now, obviously, that's something you would have to wait for. But that's potential. Maybe not. I don't. Who knows what the Cowboys are thinking over there? It's a hot mess. So, anything else you guys want to add on about NFL Week 11? We could go on and on for hours. I know we need to make more episodes, but
I got two things.
All right, let's hear it, Eric.
Number one, every time the Raiders have lost this season, Shedeur Sanders has tweeted, "Thank you, God." I saw it on Twitter, and it's hilarious. Because the more they lose, because he's projected to go and the more they lose, the higher they go. So he's not going to get drafted. People are conspiring that's because literally on the day, at the end of the game, he's tweeting "Thank you, God" when they lose. But another thing is, for the NFC, I think the Rams are really scary with Puka and Cooper Kupp healthy. Yep. They can do some damage for sure. Especially, the NFC West is anybody's right now.
Yep.
Their defense isn't great still. They don't have Aaron Donald and stuff like that, but their offense is high octane there with Cooper Kupp and Puka healthy, and Matthew Stafford. He's a legend.
And Kyron Williams, a beast.
Yeah, true. And they have Blake Corum just in case.
I did mention that they were a team to watch out for. I think in our maybe it was a couple episodes ago. The only thing that I'm worried about with the Rams, because I do agree with
And their
all
coach
with
is
those, with those offensive weapons, but just looking at their schedule, that's just kind of what worries me just a tad. You got Eagles next. You got Saints. That's winnable, but Saints have been feeling confident. It's still winnable. Then you got the Bills. And then you got the Bills. Probably won't win that. Then you got the 49ers. Manageable, but we'll see. Maybe the 49ers turn it around. I don't know. Not looking promising. Then the Jets. That's winnable. Cardinals. We'll see. Cardinals are feeling really confident. And then you have Seahawks. Again, winnable, but could be something on the line there down the lane. So
that's not a great schedule.
It's manageable, though. It's manageable, but yeah. So if they can get through it, then and I believe that they have the ability to with those offensive weapons. But
they're 5-5. You don't even lose 3 of those games.
Yep, and so if you can only lose 3 of those,
or even a shot. I mean, the NFC probably you'll be good at 9-8. You'll probably get a wild card spot.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, if you could lose 3 of those, you probably lose Eagles, you probably lose Bills. But like I said, you could beat Saints, you can beat Jets, because Jets aren't going to be fighting for anything. You can beat Jets, you can beat Saints, you can beat the Seahawks. You already did it once. You had to take it to overtime, but you already did it once, and then it'll be at home. Then the Cardinals and 49ers would be your other 2. And then we don't know how the 49ers are going to be. And the Cardinals, who knows? They're playing really well, but we'll see if that continues. But so, interesting. But I agree with you. Definitely a whole different team when Stafford has his receivers. So, all right. That is it for episode 18. Tyrone, Erik, Calvin, until next time, have a good one.